dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, let's get original crew. We back with more Sunny V2. We got the pressing truth behind Man vs. Wild. Did you ever watch that? I think I kind of caught an episode or two. Man vs. Wild?
I don't think so.
I think I caught an episode or two, but I remember it was a big hoopla. People used to really talk about it. I'd just be like, oh, okay. Well,
I'm gonna see.
Like indulge in it?
Yeah.
I ain't indulge in it though.
I guess not, because I can't remember. I can't recall it.
Yes. So, with that being said, we're finna find out today, man. But before we do, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want the first part, all you have to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
We highly appreciate it, man. But with that being said, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get into it. Let's check it out. Let's see what this is about, man.
I didn't know it was this fake. That comment was posted to an early expose of Man vs. Wild Season 1 Episode 5, while Bear Grylls' other survival missions have featured everything from rented horses to volcanic landscapes created by smoke machines. We're gonna go over every available example where Bear Grylls might not have been telling the truth, including multiple responses from the man himself, so you can come to your own conclusion about whether or not the show was real. A TV survivalist caught cutting corners. This was the first example of Bear Grylls being called out for fakery, and it came on the 24th of July 2007, just 4 days after the end of the first season. The article was written after Mark Weinert, one of the show's consultants, came forward to talk about the ways in which the first season was staged. Mark began by explaining that while in the Sierra Nevada mountains, Grylls was seen supposedly sleeping under a rock beside a small life-saving fire.
On this little overhang here, here's all I've really got now. Our shelter for the night. It's not very nice.
Yet in all actuality, Grylls instead spent each night at the Pines Resort in Bass Lake, which was advertised as a cozy getaway for families, and is a luxurious hotel with its own spa on a lake, as well as television, stone fireplaces, hot tubs, and internet access. However,
but y'all gotta realize, bro, this is for television. Like, majority of things that's made for television is not 100% real because they can't make it too life-threatening. You know get what I'm going? Mm-hmm. Even if it's being filmed, especially early days, they had to make sure whoever is the actor or the star of the show is going to be safe regardless.
Yeah.
So they're going to do things at the extreme to paint the picture. But what you don't see is the reality of what's real. Going on.
And I think I do kind of remember this, but I never watched it though.
I told you, I said I watched like an episode or two.
I just remember it, but I never really watched it.
Because even those people who be building,
see it.
When you watch it on YouTube and you see them building
those little houses,
and stuff like
little.
And I used to watch this stuff and just like,
you're like, man, it's so.
And to find out like those are so fake, you just like,
okay.
And then you really look at it, you like, it can be real because it's so much they have done. Like, if they are able to do that, they're able to even make a whole, like a resort then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, a lot of this stuff is just kind of common sense. You can kind of, like, pick apart. Also, with shows like this, you have to have non-disclosure clause in those contracts because when you fire someone, people be mad. They be like, all right, I'm going to tell everything. Yeah. So they gonna tell it's fake.
But this isn't the only part of the episode which has since been exposed as fake. Only a few minutes after waking from the campsite, which he apparently didn't even sleep at, Grylls runs into a group of wild Mustang before talking about how unusual it was to see them out in the wild.
A chance to use an old Native American mode of transport comes my way. And this is such a privilege to see they're probably loose horses that have broken free maybe from a ranch.
He spends the next couple of
Don't tell me y'all don't put the horses there.
The horses look too clean.
Baby, them so beautiful.
They well taken care of.
Yeah.
They don't look like they are not being taken. They finessed the hell out of
gaining the trust of the wild horses before trying to jump onto one without success, which is interesting as, according to a Reddit post, Bear Grylls breaking a wild Mustang was actually a choreographed scene shot with a domesticated horse from a nearby ranch. The post included a video which has sadly now been deleted, yet there are comments on other websites to back up the claim, such as, the wild horses in the American West are uncombed skittish wild creatures with scrapes and cockleburs, not the gentle manicured saddle horse which was seen in that episode, alongside YouTube comments such as, I grew up near Reno, Nevada, and spent a lot of time watching wild horses. The proof that he never roped a wild horse, he's still alive. On top of this, Mark Weiner then explained that Season 1 Episode 9, in which Grylls is supposedly surviving on a scarce desert island, was actually filmed off the coast of Hawaii, where Grylls spent his evenings in a motel. During the same episode, Grylls can be seen making a bamboo raft on the beach, which even included a fishnet sail, yet this was also debunked after Weiner had explained he actually led a team of builders to construct the raft. It was then taken apart so that Grylls could be shown building it on camera. However, it was Season 1 Episode 5 on Mount Kilauea that was the most suspicious of them all. At the beginning of the episode, Grylls was supposedly walking on an active volcano, shown by sulfur dioxide gas which was steaming from the surface.
Sulfur dioxide gas forms in volcanoes, and here it's really thick. Look at this, you can actually see the sulfur dioxide here seeping out of these vents.
However, after the episode went live, one of the show's safety instructors explained to the Sunday Times that the white clouds of poisonous sulfur dioxide that billowed around the former SAS Explorer were in fact harmless vapor created by smoke machines. And according to insiders, the red glow of the molten magma, which he warned could incinerate him in seconds, was supplemented by burning hot coals brought in by members of the production team. Sulfur dioxide fumes are colorless and you can't see it, so smoke generators were used off screen to make the existing fumes seem visible. Later in the episode, Grylls talks about
Now, if I seen the episode and I seen that she was walking, like I was like, look, this is a little sus.
Well, let's be honest. This was probably filmed, what he said, back in like 2007.
Mm-hmm.
In our 2007, watching this, we will believe it's real.
No. I'm talking about now, right now, where I'm at in life. If I seen this episode, I'm like, that is not.
But I'm saying,
not doing that. But yeah, back in 2007,
they were able to finesse it because we didn't know.
2007.
Yeah, we didn't know. Like it was a lack of knowledge and information. We we wouldn't be trying to question that. We'd be like, oh, that's cool. This guy's out here really doing that.
Especially as a child.
Yeah, like
if you're watching it.
Yeah, we're not thinking of the knowledge we know now. Like you could have inhaled so much of that, you could have died.
Yeah.
Like, bro, none of that was safe.
Yeah.
So you really think and it's being filmed? Mm-hmm. Come on now.
Being far from civilization, before explaining that crossing the terrain was dangerous due to lava cracks in the ground.
Crossing these fragile fissures can be dangerous, but there is a way to do it. Sometimes you get these lava bridges that cross them over, but you've got to be really, really careful crossing these, just because you don't know what's solid and what's hollow underneath.
Jump on it.
However,
like
when a YouTuber called Volcano Chaser uploaded a video titled Man vs. Wild Bear Grylls is a phony, this segment was also debunked. The video showed that just behind the camera, the lava crack came to an end and could have simply been walked around, which became even worse after it was shown that Grylls was not far from civilization and was rather right next to a major highway. To add a cherry on top of the cake, the video description exposed other parts of the episode by stating, most of the scenes in the show don't exist in the area he was supposed to be in. Avocado trees, lava tube, tropical forest, fissures, and landing site are all in different parts of the island and separated by up to 50 miles. I've hiked this area hundreds of times. These fissures are unique to a small area on the summit and are a very popular tourist viewing area. They're only a few hundred feet long and easy to go around. Only the phony bear seems to have trouble crossing them. The fissures are located next to the parking area where cars can be seen on the crater rim drive shown on the clip, although there was still more trickery that wasn't being made obvious to the audience. Survival expert Nick Vrumans worked with Bear Grylls on season 1.
Which is true, like we've talked about it before. It's all about positioning of the camera. Mm-hmm. The camera, you show the people what you want them to see. Yeah. Like if they're not there, they're not seeing what you see. But it's to keep the camera low and not picking up too much of the background to be able to expose the road in the back. So it's
Right.
all about angles and positioning of where you want them to see. You know what I'm saying? That's all camera trickery. Like, this show is hella fake.
You watched the episode. No, so
You want me to tell you another show they said was fake?
What?
But they said some parts was real, Survivor.
Mm,
You ever watch Survivor?
maybe. I'm not even gonna say I haven't watched it. Maybe. Maybe.
Obvious to the audience. Survival expert Nick Vrumans worked with Bear Grylls on season 1 episode 13 in the Australian outback, after which Nick stated that even the script itself was pre-planned. He'd expand on this by stating everything you see in the show is set up. I built him shelters and found him snakes to eat. On the show broadcast to Europe and the US, you see him catch a snake, kill it and eat it, but it was actually 2 snakes, a roadkill that I found which he was shown beating on the head and eating, and then a live olive python that a wildlife carer had been rehabilitating, which was followed by Vrumans also exposing the segment where Grylls was almost attacked by a crocodile, stating the whole crew was petrified of the crocodiles. Bear didn't want to get anywhere near the water, so he filmed a setup of him like he was near a crocodile when he was actually a safe distance away. I was a bit miffed when I saw the finished show. As a result of the media ripping each episode to shreds, Bear Grylls was given a chance to respond to the controversy during a live talk show.
And then we heard somebody complaining that they said, no, he's down the road at the Motel 6. He's not really out there surviving.
The way we film these things is over 6 days, and when I'm filming the live night stuff out, I'm out whether it's in a camel carcass or up a tree, and then when we're not filming the night stuff, I'll stay with the crew, wherever that is, whether it's in a tented camp area in the Sahara or a jungle lodge, in a rainforest or wherever.
Grylls would then issue a public apology stating if people felt misled on how
You ain't standing, no. You right over there in that luxurious hotel.
You like, I stay wherever the crew is.
Honey,
No,
living it up.
They're not even finna. The crew ain't even
Breakfast
because
in
I didn't sign up for that. I just signed up to be a part of the crew. I didn't sign up to be living out in the wild. They're not gonna even go too far from civilization anyway. You want to go far from civilization? Go in the rain. Well, I ain't gonna say necessarily rain, cause I ain't. But it's it's like go somewhere where civilization is hours away.
But again, like you said back then,
and they ain't finna do nothing to put your life at harm. No. So you have to be in civilization just in case something does go wrong. We can get you to the proper hospital or treatment that you might need to. What you laughing at?
Nothing.
Well,
I'm
what
in my own world.
you trying it? You trying me, bruh? Don't try me.
First series was represented, I'm really sorry for that. He added, I'm the person that takes the rap for these things, even though I'm not always involved in the editing side of it, which is followed by the show promising to be 100% transparent going into the future. To cover themselves, the second season opened with a disclaimer, however, it's not like this did anything to convince viewers of the show's authenticity. If I had to choose one person to be stranded on a desert island with, it would be Bear Grylls. That way he would have his crew with him, and they would probably pay for us to stay in a nice hotel or something, which became even worse after the show was exposed for a different stunt. During the episode in the African savannah, Grylls is shown squeezing water out of elephant dung, which by itself didn't seem all that troublesome. However, when Canadian survival expert Les Stroud, host of the show Survivor Man, responded to the episode in a Reddit AMA, he debunked the strategy by stating, many of the actual survival skills taught are bogus. It's not possible to squeeze drinkable water out of elephant dung. Well, it is if your cameraman has soaked it with bottled water. I would even go so far as to say that some of the skills, if followed and attempted in a real survival situation, could result in worsening the situation, with this comment coming alongside a few instances of Les Stroud dissing Man vs. Wild for its lack of authenticity.
I was wondering if you've ever had the opportunity to meet Bear Grylls.
I haven't, because I'm out overnight and there's nobody else out there.
What are your thoughts on Bear Grylls?
If you wanted to learn about archaeology, would you get it from Harrison Ford?
A lot of fresh water around here. It's a good thing, too. Otherwise, I'd be reduced to probably having to drink my own pee. Yeah, right.
There are YouTube videos as well as full-blown websites dedicated to the poor advice that Bear Grylls is given, with many stating that this constitutes fakery, while others have made the point that Grylls was simply showing survival techniques, and it therefore didn't matter if the shots were set up or not. It's a show to teach you how to survive certain scenarios. To have every survival stunt to be real every single episode would be both dangerous and illogical. He teaches survival.
But how can you teach somebody fake things then?
Because if I actually had to survive, then I would have to have the equipment and the tools and the resources that you have in the first place that your team is already setting up for you.
So I wouldn't be not even that. Like the survival skill, like dude said, even you trying to consume water from
That's
elephants.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, like let me finish. If you're trying to consume elephant dung, that could be dangerous because you can be like particles and stuff getting into your body. That can actually probably kill
like
you.
he said, it's not possible unless your team soaked it with water first. And that's what I'm saying. If I don't even have that in the first place, water, then how am I going to be able to produce? Like, it doesn't make sense.
But now he said it's a possibility to squeeze it out, but it's still like it's still not like good for you though. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Regardless, it's
like you could have showed other survivor skills that was possibly true. You don't have to exaggerate something for entertainment because all this stuff, to be real, it's only solely merely for entertainment purpose. It's not meant for teaching y'all real shit. It's for them to make money. Mm-hmm. You finna say something?
No.
I saw your mouth go like this.
I was about to say no.
Yeah, you said. You said. But no, like, don't be trying to teach somebody some shit that you wouldn't do your own damn self. And for real. And the fact y'all sold some elephant dung and water, y'all ass drunk that shit. Shitty mouth.
Stunt to be real every single episode would be both dangerous and illogical. He teaches survival techniques. It's obviously irrelevant if he's really facing those perils or not. The point is, it's entertaining and informative. He was teaching people how to survive if they were in that situation, as if he's not risking his life for a freaking TV show. Whether or not setting up the shots constitutes fakery is up for debate. However, a YouTuber by the name of Lo the Show seems convinced that even when set up, a different Bear Grylls stunt is completely impossible, eating a snake.
Even with the guts and skin on, you can eat them straight like this.
Not possible.
Although in other episodes, Bear Grylls has shown himself eating snakes in their entirety, so I wouldn't call the video by Lo the Show all that much of a debunk. However, if we want slightly better evidence, we have to look at a video posted by Justin Wallace titled "Climber Cringe Bear Grylls Confirmed Top Roper." Justin, who's clearly an avid climber, spends the video criticizing an advertisement in which Bear Grylls is climbing a difficult route in Utah. Grylls is shown to be using all the wrong gear.
Guess we're using the Mountaineer's coil, which you don't really do, especially when you're trad climbing in Moab, because it just kinks up your rope. Sorry, bud, but a single wire gate on your harness isn't gonna do much for you.
Tying all the wrong knots.
What the hell knot is that? Kinda looks like a bowline, but not really.
And even climbing the wall incorrectly.
I don't even see his last piece. He's like 40 feet run out right there. You're gonna die, man. Oh, and there's so many good placements too. What is he doing? There's no way he is holding his body weight with that one hand in that crack right there. And his 2 feet are just sticking out on nothing. His crew is definitely pulling his fat ass up there on a 3-to-1. There's no way he's climbing that.
The original rock climbing video has a dislike ratio of almost 75% and features comments such as, "Gotta give him credit for really committing to the BS. Interesting skills he has in climbing. This is just ridiculous. Wow, it could be impressive if it was not fake. As a climber, it's obvious that the heli dropped him at the top and he made some shots rappelling down. I used to like him, disappointing." You could make the argument that Grylls gets a pass given it was filmed for an advertisement, but does he get a pass for an article titled "Bear Grylls Show Accused of Fakery Again" after the island's ordinary men exposed as trained professionals? According to the article, the island by Bear Grylls introduced what was supposed to be 13 ordinary men are about to be abandoned on a Pacific island with just the clothes they stand up in and a few tools. But there was no mention that Rupert Smith had worked in war zones and extreme environments, including alongside Grylls as director of Channel 4's Escape to the Legion. Similarly, there was no introduction to cameraman Dan Etheridge, who also worked with Grylls on Discovery Channel's Man vs. Wild. Kif McManus, a sound recordist with 10 years experience in some of the world's most dangerous places, also failed to get a mention. The article also revealed that 2 caiman crocodiles had been manually released onto the island, and that the rare source of fresh fresh drinking water found by those on the show was actually a rubber-lined pool set up by the production crew. Channel 4 responded to the featuring of trained professionals by stating, "It clearly states in the program voiceover that trained crew are part of the experiment, living under the exact same conditions as the other men. Like all of the men on the island, their professions are captioned on screen and their backgrounds are discussed. Biographies are also on the Channel 4 website," before going on to address the crocodiles and drinking water by stating, "We had to ensure the island's only water supply, a muddy pool, would last through filming in the dry season, and that there was enough native animals and native vegetation that could sustain the men for 28 days, as long as they had the ingenuity to find it, catch it, and kill it," which you have to admit is a pretty decent statement.
Yeah. Oh, that's the interview. Yeah, some of the statements, like these last few statements, are good. They're good backup statements. You gotta get smarter over time. You know what I'm saying, with the wording and how you display things to cover up the BS. Is it fake, stage, structured for entertainment purposes? I think all of it is. But a lot of things nowadays are.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Majority of things y'all think people are professional in, and most things y'all tune in to people, and y'all feel like they might be the smartest person to be able. Most of them are not though. It's just that they can capture the audience better and retain viewership better. It's not because most of the people who I'll say possibly could be more informative and you can learn more from, people fail to want to watch because maybe they're not entertaining because they enjoy it too much, and so they be, you know how have you ever had that teacher in class, they're teaching a subject and they get stuck so long on one topic and it's because their passion behind it and you like, damn bro, just move the fuck on. But most people like that, people fail to want to get the knowledge from, and they prefer to get the knowledge from somebody who can keep their attention. Yeah. And so those might not be the best ones to get the information from, though. Right. And that's even when it comes down to YouTube. Like, even a lot of YouTubers that a lot of people love to watch are not necessarily good YouTubers. They just know how to retain your attention. They're just, so you think they excel at what they do when they really don't.
That's in anything, but yeah.
So in this situation, I think he was just a good person to be able to captivate the audience and keep viewer retention. But when people start trying to debunk stuff, they start scrambling.
Or was it in the beginning people did feel like some things were real until people start calling him out on his BS?
Because he knew how to keep people's attention. It's all acting.
Is it to keep people's attention or be kind of deceiving for people to believe, like, oh, because you had to...
Like both. I say a little degree of both. Because you do, like... Because it's kind of like how a magician is good enough to keep your attention, but also good enough to deceive you and make you believe in something that's not really there. Yeah. So as a magician, you have to kind of know what you're looking at or know what you're watching for to be able to really... like, say the magician's not doing his job.
And honestly, even with people calling him out on his BS, that's still with a lot of things that even we watch, you know that it's not good for you or it's fake or whatever the case may be, but you still go back to it because you want to see what else BS you got to show. You know what I'm saying?
And he had a good PR team to be able to, if we see at the end, be able to word things in the correct form. And I think that's just over time. You have to, the more money you make, you can invest in better, like a better PR team to clear up the BS, so he don't have to go out there and speak on it.
But also when you think about it, like you said earlier, and like was mentioned in the video, he's not about to put his life at risk for y'all entertainment, for people who enjoy watching him. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, this is literally for him for a check. Like, and that's what it is. Like,
most things are.
Yeah, I'm not about to put my life at risk for your entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So this is all fake. This is all a hoax. Like, this,
just give me
enjoy.
Your money. Give me your money.
Enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is.
And like I said, that's in every career field. It's always somebody who you're drawn to that really is not passionate about what they do. They're just in it for the money. And
that's what I
whether
like.
from athletes, because we've seen motherfuckers there to get the check, they'll sit on the bench or whatever. But a lot of people, that's in every career field, just somebody's not, 100% dedicated to the art,
No, he was
I don't even think he was dedicated.
He
He was more
dedicated-
dedicated to the dollar, though.
he was dedicated to showing you the BS. He was like,
As long as
look,
that check clears, he dedicated.
he showed up. He showed up.
And showed out.
Yep.
Bite a snake. It's a little. I do it for the little. Let me. All right, cut.
And cut, spit.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
he ain't chewing
dedicated.
them swallowing this.
He was dedicated. All right.
He spit as soon as they cut, man. Hey, man, make sure y'all spam us up in the comments.
Please do.
Y'all let us know y'all thoughts of the peas, man. But as always, I do go by the name DJ the Kid. This is
Here to go.
We are.
See,
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long.